Hey everyone, I got a great video for you today. A few videos ago, I made this video right here where I showed you the top 100 designs on Amazon using flying research and what AI predicted, or at least told me about it, all the data it got. So I wanted to do another one with Etsy. So this time I'm going to use Profit Tree. I'll show you the top 100 that I found using Profit Tree, and I'm going to show you what AI had to tell me again, but this time with Etsy stuff. What's the top kinds of things that Etsy buyers buy, or what should we be designing? Who's the audience? What kind of fonts and everything? So it told me a lot of different things. Stay tuned in this video. I'm going to show you exactly what it told me, and I'll show you examples of what it says that you should design for. It gave me 10 template ideas on what's popular according to the top 100 that I shared with it. What you should be designing for Etsy to get the best chances of getting a sales. Now, it's not guaranteed to get you sales, but it used all the data and all its AI knowledge to kind of give us our best guesses. So let's get into Profit Tree right now, and I'll show you all the settings that I use to find the top 100 that I used for AI. All right, so here I am in Profit Tree. I'm using the product finder right here, and this is part of the $67 lifetime deal that I'm using. No monthly payments, just a one-time fee, and you get this product finder, and you can do research on any product on Etsy, not just t-shirts, but I'm gonna just do t-shirts. So I'm gonna do t-shirts, just like that, and hit search. Now it's gonna search for all the t-shirts on Etsy, so including stuff that's copyrighted, including stuff that's embroidered, but I'm gonna take those out. So I'm gonna do some filtering first, but we're gonna do it by total revenue. So you can filter, or you can select these and kind of do it from those columns. And so you can see by highest, this is the total revenue that it's got all time. So these are all-time bestsellers, not just right now. I'm going to show you how to do the ones for right now, but these are all-time bestsellers. But I'm going to filter it. You got some filters here. I should move myself over here so I'm not blocking the filters. First thing is I'm going to take out personalization. If you can do personalization, I think it does really well on Etsy, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm going to say no on this one, because that's going to kind of skew it on what designs happen on here, or that we can design. The next thing I'm going to do is down here, listing type physical, because I don't want digital downloads. I don't want digital stuff. We're still going to have to filter it a little bit, but this is going to kind of get most of it. So I'm going to hit search here. So it's going to redo it with those filters. You can do any of those filters. I didn't go all over them. I do a video with the filters if you want to go back and look at Profit Tree. Okay, so for example, the top revenue right here of all time, you see the free bird one right here. So what I did is I clicked on it, opened a new tab, I did this, and then copied it and made my 100 designs. But I'm going to show you some things that I didn't do. So differently, Disney, I didn't do any Disney because that's copyrighted. I didn't do any embroidered ones. So I don't know if there's a bunch of embroidered ones. I took that out. I didn't do quilts. I didn't do just t-shirts, so it had to have a design on there. Here's a quilt one that does with t-shirts. They use some vintage t-shirts. So there's a bunch of things that I didn't do. I didn't do grouped t-shirts, although you can definitely sell that on Etsy. I wanted to make sure that it's just a one design t-shirt. Oh, and also stayed away from any things that might get you in trouble. So either copyright, trademarked, or things like that. So I was very specific on what I picked. And then I also did one, so I did a 50 of the total revenue, and then I wanted to do one like current. So I did monthly revenue, this one right here, and I think this is just saying not of all time, but like the last 3 months, I believe, or last month. So these are different as well. So I didn't do this one where it's just a plain t-shirt. I didn't do Raiders, of course, because copyrighted and so on. So this is just t-shirt. So I had to go through a little bit and kind of pick the ones that are looks like something that we could design on a t-shirt and so on. So let me show you the top 100 that I have here. I put it into Affinity Designer. These are the top 100. We can take a quick look at them, but these are the ones that I'm going to send to AI, ChatGPT, and have it break it down. Give me all the data that I can get from here, like what's the best type of designs, who, and all this. You'll see the prompt that I use. So, but first I want to show you quickly what the top 100 results that I found. But again, you could do this yourself if you have Profit Tree. You could do it with different things. And again, $67 one-time fee. I'll put a link in the description if you want to try it out. No monthly fee, just that one-time fee. All right, so here's 50 on this page, 50 on the other page. There's that Freebird one. It's not in any specific order, but there you go. So you can say very simple designs, text, heavy text base, some nice watercolor stuff. But mainly a lot of text ones, a lot of vintage stuff. That's what I'm noticing real quick. And here's some other ones. There are some ones that are like really well designed, but for the most part, they're pretty simple. You can see some of these things that are selling currently, and just take a look at some of this. So yeah, this is all of it. I don't want to look at all of them, but this just to give you an idea of what I found. Very different from the Amazon one. I think this one's just a little bit nicer. So let's take a look at what AI got from all this data, these 100 designs, and kind of look for patterns. I asked it to look for patterns. Well, let's just go to AI or ChatGPT right now and see the prompt that I used. All right, so here we are on ChatGPT. This is, I uploaded these two, the 100 designs that I showed you, and this is the prompt that I use. And you can do this too if you want to use Profit Tree. You don't have to do the 100. You can have it analyze whatever you want. And this is what I said. Here are Etsy's top 100 t-shirt designs currently. I want you to look for patterns and let me know the kinds of designs that sell well, what styles, what topics, what colors, what fonts, who should I design for, Etsy's main audience, and other things that may be helpful as a t-shirt designer that sells on Etsy. So again, this is AI kind of taking everything that it knows from the designs that I uploaded and kind of finding patterns and things. So let's see what happens. So the first thing, it gave me 10 different things. So first, who Etsy is really for. The demographics, age 30 to 55, gender skew female heavy, but females buying for men too. So partners, dads, and grandpas. So values, humor over fashion, relatability over polish, personality over trendiness. The buyer intent, self-expression. Most t-shirts are self-expression. And gifts. Yes, I see a lot of people buying gifts. Etsy buyers want t-shirts that feel slightly handmade. Of course, that's Etsy. Emotionally specific and not messy, not mass market Amazon-y. So that's why it's a little different than the Amazon ones that I had before. There's just a little bit higher than, I think, higher style than the mass market ones. It's trying to be better than that. Number two, what topics sell best? So I broke it up into two different tiers. First, humor and identity. Second, family roles. So you can read into kind of examples that I put there. And then tier two, Etsy specific niches. So animals with personality, there's some examples there. Mild politics, we've seen those. There's some examples there. And nostalgia, so there's some examples there. Number three, styles that clearly win. I think they give me a bunch of different styles, or 3 different styles. So dominant style, text first shirts. We saw a bunch of those. Illustration styles that work. When illustrations are used, they're usually flat or vintage, single color with a limited palette and almost screen print looking. So no hyperrealism, no AI sheen, no gradients usually. Number 3, emotional tone that wins. Witty, cozy, slightly sarcastic, non-threatening things are kind of the emotions that you're looking for. So that's pretty cool that it got it from all those t-shirts. Number 4, color trends from those 100. Very consistent. Shirt colors, muted is king. So olive green, these are the t-shirt colors. Heather gray, washed black, cream, dusty blue, muted mustard. So that's what it's saying. bright colors are rare and only works when paired with playful illustrations or retro designs. These are the ink colors on top of those. They notice off-white, cream, faded black, muted orange, soft red, and wash blue. So mix those with the t-shirts and you'll get some of those colors. Fonts that sell. This is important. Bold sans serif. This is what they mean. Retro sans slab and handwritten script. Use sparingly. So what you don't see is thin fonts, elegant scripts, and ultra modern typography, at least not in the 100 that I showed it. The layout patterns that keep repeating. A, big statement. B, phrase and icon. C, vintage badge. And D, list block text. Number 7, what Etsy is not rewarding right now. Based on what's missing in the 100, they're not rewarding over-designed graphics, AI-heavy realism, trending chasing aesthetics, maximalist art, and super clever but unclear jokes. Etsy rewards clarity over cleverness. Number 8, what should you design? So these is what it's thinking you should design. High probability niches, dad grandpa humor, relationships, birth year designs, animals doing human things, soft value, and identity statements. Style rules, start with the phrase first, design like it was printed in 1978, that vintage look, limit to 1 to 2 colors, make it readable from 6 feet away. Ask yourself, would this sell as a gift without any explanation? If yes, it could be an Etsy winner. And number 9, big picture insight. This is most important. Etsy t-shirt buyers are not buying designs. They are buying a laugh, a feeling, a sense of being understood, an easy gift decision. And I think that's mainly why people buy t-shirts. If you want, it can do 10 repeatable Etsy templates. And I said yes, because this is what I did in the last video. It gave me templates for Amazon. So I thought I'd share with you some of the templates that it's saying to do for Etsy. So let's see what it says. Now again, these are not guaranteed to get sales. This is just from the data that it's getting from the 100 designs, but I think it can be relatable and you can try these. So I also asked it to create designs for these, what it looks like. So I'm going to put that here as well. So first, template 1, role plus attitude statement. So why it sells, because of the identity and humor. These are some examples. And here's the example of what it made. So you can see it right here. So I think it did one of these ones, or at least close to one of these ones. Template 2, this is what an awesome blank looks like. I think you can't do the thumbs, so it did the fist. I think the thumbs are actually copyrighted. So, and you don't have to use awesome. You can use another word there too. But this is the design that it came up with. I think it looks pretty good. Template 3, the birth year limited edition thing. This has been going on for a long time. I think you can do a spin on this. You don't have to use limited edition. In fact, you may want to check if that's copyrighted or trademark. You can use something else, but with the birth year here. And here's the design that it came up with. I think it looks pretty cool. This one's a really fun one, animal and human personality. We see this a lot. I've done videos where we have like photorealistic ones of animals doing different things. And here's one that it did for me. I think this one's really funny with the cat here. But there's a bunch of examples of different animals that are selling on Etsy right now. Template 5, we're halfway here through this. Self-deprecating life statement. Here are some examples. I did one with the 1900s, a take on that, but with the, or at least I asked it to do one with the computer from the 80s, because I remember the 80s computer. Here's template 6, the relationship flex. Here are some examples. And we saw a bunch of these in the top 100. And here's an example that it made for this relationship flex. I think it turned out pretty good. Template 7, the retro stripe vintage word mark. So it doesn't have to be a year, but I decided to do 86 this time. I asked it to do one. And with the stripes here, you can use retro stripes in a lot of different things. And in fact, I would actually, I'm thinking of doing a video of doing retro stripe, looking for that on Etsy and see if I can find a bunch of those. But here's some examples of what it's talking about. There's so many different ways to do retro stripes. Template 8 is this mild values / soft politics. We've seen a lot of these. So I asked it to make a basic decency one. We saw that. And this is what it came up with the bird and flowers. Now you could go a little even more retro and do it one color. I think I've seen one of those as well. So you can do a vintage version and do different ones for different values. I think that sells a lot. Template 9 is the dad skill / dad disclaimer. Great for Father's Day, great for Father's gifts. People buy gifts for their dads on their birthdays all year round because they have different ones. So this one is about being in the garage, but of course there's lots of other things. We got Born to Fish and all the other dad things, barbecue and things that aren't in here. And lastly, the template 10, the cozy illustrated scene. I asked it to do flowers and books, and this is what it came up with. But there's a whole bunch of other ones. We've seen pumpkins, we've seen jars and forest silhouettes and a bunch of those. So these are the templates that it came up with. Here are all 10 of them all together so you can see. I think this is a really cool idea. Make sure to look at these if you're lost and not know what to design for Etsy. I think take one of these templates and run with it and see what you can come up with. Again, not a guarantee that it's going to sell, but based on the data, AI is saying these are the kinds of things that are mostly selling on Etsy right now. All right, there you go. That's my top 100 and what AI says to design because of the top 100 on Etsy. If you haven't seen the one I did for Amazon, take a look at this one right here. It's kind of the same thing, but with the 100 designs from Amazon. Hopefully these videos help you to kind of get ideas on what you can design for these platforms and hopefully get you a lot of sales this year. Thanks again for watching, and as always, keep creating and keep learning. I'll see you on the next one.